On. So you spoke about Filipinos not really caring, Mr. Kale. So do you think that not caring, I mean being not political enough to identify which one is right or wrong. Do you think this is a weakness or a strength towards the Filipino people? Weakness in the sense that they can be easily manipulated by people who have forms of authority towards them.
When it comes to not being too political, I personally see it uh, as a form of weakness because it doesn't provide a basis for what people like should believe in for their country. Kaya if a person like doesn't believe in free or fair elections, it's just like, oh, we can vote, okay, like uh, and if most Filipinos are like that, like they're just indifferent to the idea of voting or any other policies we have as Filipinos, then it would make it easier for any ambitious government official to exploit that and use authority to empower themselves even more and reduce the liberties of these people. Now, I don't want to one side and the other side because uh they're just gonna clash and that no progress will be made. But what I can say is when people do become political, they should ideas of what the other side has, and that we should come together, form a common ground wherein you know, we could agree on something and push forward. I mean, I think that's basically how our like we have and here who disagree with this law and congressmen there who don't like who agree with the law and like debate on it. There are changes and eventually it gets passed. So I think that should work for the Filipino people as well. Pero I just want to like share like my personal view of like we should focus on pragmatism over ideology because pragmatism is basically like we should do what's good. We should focus on what's practical, and like, ideology is it's ideology and it's focused merely on ideas and not necessarily into actions. Like I got that learning from actually just last night when I was watching a video about Botswana because Botswana had a president who turned who turned the country from the second poorest nation to the world into the fastest growing economy in the 1980s, and that if he was able to do that, then surely we
If Filipinos would become more political, I think they would become more critical on the things on what will happen to the country. So what I think is it their ignorance would become a weakness or a strength. I guess it's you have two things as like the less you know, sometimes the less you know the better it is, and then but then you don't really know what's happening. But then if the more you know, you learn things that might not be good or something like that. But then you get to know better. So I don't I think I think what's really best for us in the country is like the people should be more politically engaged. Those they should care, or so we wouldn't really be, like the like kanang pinabahala na attitude or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's really prevalent in our country, especially the ayaw ko na kasi it won't affect me as a whole, and then but actually it really affects you affects you individually and you as a person as a whole. So